Shalom, shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises, glory, and honor to the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. I'm the brother Park from Great Millstone, Tampa. And I want to give double honors to elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect and the ones listening in. And I want to, just get quick, again, a quick lesson. All right, quicken in the spirit. I'm going to tie this lesson, fight the lust. All right, fight the lust, And what I mean by lust, I mean the lust of this flesh. And, that goes into a lot of things, anything, all right, that the flesh lusteth after of, that isn't profitable unto the spirit, fight it, because what that does is it allows Satan and demons, all right, to enter within you, okay? Making bad habits and all different type of things with, certain things that your spirit is not profiting from, but your flesh is being pleasured by, okay? We have to fight those things, man, especially in these times that we are in now, okay? Because what we're going through, the fight we're fighting, all right, demons are here to make you fall and give up and quit, okay? So the best way they can do that is inwardly, all right? The things you struggle with inwardly, all right, that's what Satan attacks, okay? So I want to just, start off with 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 22. It says, flee also youthful lust, all right? And, a lot of brothers come to this truth very young, from teenage years to early 20s, mid 20s, all right? And, you have to fight, against a lot of, that youthful lust, okay? That young lust, that FOMO, all right? Because especially when you first come into this truth, because when you come into this truth, you see a lot of Jake, around your age, or, Jake just going out doing all different type of things that the flesh will lust after, partying and, all these different things that may not be profitable into your spirit, okay? And you may very well understand that it's not profitable to your spirit, and the flesh will continuously tempt you, continuously, fight against the spirit, okay, in order to be pleasured, because when you think with the flesh, you do the things that pleasures it, but it has, nothing good comes from it, okay? With a lot of things this flesh is pleasured by, nothing good comes from it. So we have to fight against that, bro. You have to have the discipline, all right? The discipline to be able to say no, to be able to fight, all right? To be able to resist the lust, resist Satan, okay? You got to have that discipline, man, and that's what we continuously, all right, in this truth, we continuously being shown, all right, and given is discipline, okay, from the Lord. If the Lord is dealing with you, the Lord's going to discipline you. The Lord's going to, make sure you acquire, that discipline that is needed, okay? And that fight, the fight with the flesh and the lust of this flesh, all right, it comes with obtaining discipline. It comes with resisting and fighting back the flesh, okay? It says, bringing it back 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 22. Flee also youthful lust, but follow righteousness, faith, charity, peace with them that call on the Lord out of a pure heart. Okay, and the NLT says, run from anything that stimulates youthful lust. Instead, pursue righteous living, faithfulness, love, and peace. Enjoy the companionship of those who call on the Lord with pure hearts. Okay, so this is the walk we chose, man. We chose to, resist and flee from the youthful lust, all right? From the things of this world, to pleasure this flesh. We chose to miss out on those things, bro. Happily. Once you come into this truth, that's what you chose. And if you're not happy with it, the Lord gonna get you out. If you want to be out there, if you don't want to miss out on the shit that's out there, bro, the Lord gonna make sure you within it. All right. And when this place get destroyed by fire, you're gonna be within that fire as well. Okay. But we seek after, righteousness, faith, charity, peace. Okay, these things is what we seek after. Okay, and seeking after that, it cuts out the things that the flesh wants to do. Okay, because the flesh a lot of times the flesh ain't up to no good, man. Okay, the things that the flesh want to do it's not nothing good. Okay, when it comes to the spirit, when it comes to pleasing the spirit. Okay, because the scripture says it. The flesh is in a continuous fight with the spirit. So Salakia. So let's get that also actually. Galatians. I believe I was at 5, verse 16. It says, "This I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. For the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary to one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would." All right, so, all right, the lust of the flesh lusteth, against the spirit, all right, and the spirit against the flesh, okay? So, it's a continuous, battle, all right, between the spirit and the flesh that's contrary to each other, all right? And you want to be of the spirit, because being of the spirit, it allows you to do more things that's beneficial, all right? That's more, righteous, all right, for the spirit. Okay, that's more pleasing to the Lord and not to the flesh and not to Satan. Okay? So, Salakia. So understanding that, we continuously seek and fight to be of the spirit. We continuously seek and fight to be disciplined through the spirit. Okay? But it go bring this back in the NLT verse 17 says the sinful nature wants to do evil, which is the opposite of what the spirit wants. And the spirit gives us desires that are the opposite of what the sinful nature desires. These two forces are constantly fighting each other. So you are not free to carry out your good intentions. All right. So those two forces is constantly at each other. So you ain't free to you're not free to be able to carry out your good intentions. All right. The flesh is against, you going out and pleasing the spirit. All right. The flesh is, it's against you being disciplined. Okay. When you want to do a lesson, the flesh wants to sleep. When you want to read the scriptures, the flesh wants to go out and be distracted. Okay? But you got to be able to resist that. And to be able to resist that, it comes with, spiritual strength. All right? A mental fortitude. All right? Because either your mind's going to be influenced by the flesh or it's going to be influenced by the spirit. And then you're going to do whichever one wants you to do. So that's when it comes to praying and fasting. All right? To seek the Spirit, to live by the Spirit. Okay? It says, but if ye be led of the Spirit, you are not under the law. Now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanness, lasciviousness, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revelings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in the time past, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of Yahweh. All right, so these are the things that are of the flesh, bro. Adultery, that wrath, variance, emulations, seditions, uncleanliness, idolatry. These are the things the flesh, seeks out, man. All right. So when you're of the Spirit, it separates you from the rest of this world and the society of niggas, man. Okay? So, I just really, I just ultimately want to just get into a quick lesson just through the Spirit on that, because that's something I was just meditating on, bro, is, you got to deny the flesh, bro. You got to deny the lust of the flesh. That's the fight. We enter into a fight when we came into this truth, and the fight is to deny this flesh, to deny who we were in the world, man. All right? So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect. I want us listening in. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Rakakadash. I want to give, once again, double honors to elders and apostles of Great Millstone, teaching well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom.